Hello everybody and welcome to Mondoid, your one-stop shop for all things Project Zomboid, and this week, killing you a build earlier. This is a really exciting Mondoid for everybody, so hang tight, buckle yourself in, this shit's going fast and furious, and get ready. Okay, bye Maya, she was on my lap, she's gone now, she's like, fuck you, you're loud, dude. Chill out. Anyway, so, killing you a build earlier. Basically, a lot of the stuff that was coming in build 31 is actually being implemented today in the I will back up my save 30.7 save file, which means I will be redoing and starting fresh because there's significant enough changes where starting fresh means a lot to me, and it'll allow me to see a lot of other exciting things. So what is being redone? Well, let's go over it and talk about the effects and the penalties or the ramifications, if you will, about the changes being implemented to the game. One of the big ones is an endurance revamp, and there's a lot of reasons for it, but I agree with them, because what endurance is now is you run, you get out of breath, you take a moment, you catch your breath, and then you keep running. It kind of just serves as this weird little buffer between actually moving at a decent pace and then just slowing down for a couple of seconds and then getting back to that normal thing. It just slows down the gameplay in a way that I feel is a little bit annoying, and it seems they feel the same way. So, how are they going to do it instead? Well, it's going to be changed pretty significantly. Instead of it requiring about 10 seconds of not moving, it'll affect you for a much more prolonged period of time and require hours of rest or sleep to recuperate, which means I can't be out running around all day. I will have to probably level it up in some way in order to be out there. So instead, I can exert myself, and now I need hours to relax. The idea is that your endurance is now becoming a day-long commodity that you don't want to spend frivolously, so you can't just run immediately. And to cap the amount of zombies fighting during a day, you can expect to be able to engage in a low fitness skills levels. Okay, this is still being balanced, so feedback on that particular branch is going to be required. So again, it's a commodity. Think of it as a currency. You can't just spend it all at once, otherwise you're going to be fucked. You're going to need to pace yourself when you go out anymore. I can't just go out and kill 30 zombies in a day and be done with it. It is now a daily commodity. That's interesting. That's going to change things drastically. Other than that, we've got shader changes. So it's going to look a little bit more moody. They took a little inspiration from this war of mine, but they're going to be subtle in their inspiration. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. Zombie posse. So this is something that I've been excited for a while. They've discussed it at great length, and things that I personally have been really excited for as far as like a more organic feel to how zombies work. So for right now, the way zombies work is they're kind of spawned in. Some are clumps, some are just in individual around the map. And they kind of get clumped together via metagame noises. So a helicopter goes running by, or a gunshot goes off, or, you know, glass breaks. Something outside of themselves forces them to clump together, and they will become clumped together over a long period of time, creating a weird kind of, either you'll run into one zombie or 100 zombies, so to speak. Now, you're much more likely to run into a pack of 5 to 6 zombies over 5 to 6 zombies dotted around the area. But unlike the old system of spawning the zombies in groups, which was never convincing, the new zombie clumping happens organically and naturally. And the way that this works is they're now attracted to each other's groans and movements, which means you're more likely to run into those zombies. So no longer do their groans and movements not do anything, they actually will attract other zombies. So you're going to have zombies clumping over time naturally, which just brings this zombie world to life, right? That's how zombies kind of clump together. That's how hordes are formed. They are just naturally making noises because they're dead bodies that are just, you know, kind of going through the motions, and through that noise, through that ruckus that they create, other zombies are naturally attracted to them, and they kind of create these gigantic hordes, these giant herds, these packs of zombies. And now that is looking like it's going to be happening within Project Zomboid itself. That's cool. Joypad auto zoom now, another thing we've not quite got the options working for and might need a little adjusting to. We like to give the auto zoom a quick trial. So if you play with the joypad, it'll automatically zoom. Never fear, in future we'll add the options to disable or override this, but they're just going to test it out. So if you play with the joypad, you're going to be trying out this new auto zoom feature, it looks like. Now, it doesn't really bother me. I never use the joypad, but if you are one of the people who do, there you go. So we got some farming tweaks coming as well. The problem with farming has been that once you've got the necessary kit, it becomes pretty easy to be able to be self-sufficient with food. On the other hand, the amount of upkeep required for crops means the player spends a lot of time dealing with them, which is actually one of the reasons I don't like to farm all that much. It's just very time consuming. As such, we've made 2 changes to the farming system. First, we've significantly increased the amount of time it takes to grow crops. Crops are now, as they should, a longer-term solution and pushed much further into the late game as to when a player can expect to be able to live off grown vegetables. That's cool. And secondly, they've decreased the amount of maintenance the crops require. So a player still has to do some stuff from time to time while they're growing their crops. But it seems like the changes will mean that the player will remain an important feature of the game, but will not eat up all the player's time and turn the game into a farming simulator, as well as mean farming won't provide a player with food as early in the game. So again, the idea of making the game harder in the late game or even impossible to get to in the late game continues. One of the easiest things to do was set up farming and just be self-sufficient. Now, farming looks like it's a long-term thing, something you should absolutely start looking to get into as soon as possible, but it's an investment. You're not going to get rewarded very quickly. It's going to take a long time for it to become self-sufficient. But once you have a good system going and you make it into the late game, if you make it into the late game, farming is going to be the answer to all your woes, as long as you are willing to put in the time. Not only that, it looks like they're going to give us a little preview as to how the map was working as they come into the city. Build-up of residential housing as we approach the north. So as you get closer and closer to the city, essentially the way the buildings are going to be laid out, it's going to feel like you're getting closer and closer to the city, with more and more buildings becoming more and more clumped. And as you can see, this is like the building layout they're planning, which is crazy to see this many buildings all together all at once, especially with how the buildings are currently laid out now. It's exciting. It's really exciting. It looks like I will be starting fresh just because I want to try all these things, and I'll dabble with how the zombie respawn and how deep into the game I'm going to be playing right away. But this is awesome. I'm really excited to see this. I hope you guys are excited. We'll probably see me starting to do this tomorrow, as I have a special episode of Zomboid going up today. But if you're excited, I'm excited, and I look forward to seeing just what this is going to bring for us. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're one of those once-a-weekers, I'll see you next week. If you're a regular, I will see you later today. And as always, I will see all of you next time. Bye-bye.